Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 Black Ice with me, Alpha Pi Omega, in German Reich. So, I'm having some coffee and I'm preparing to go to bed, but before I do, I still have like an hour and a half of time, so I decided that I'm going to record a couple of episodes because I'm having way more fun than I expected this campaign to be. So I loaded it up, and here we are once again dealing with the logistics of the entirety of Reich. What's good to mention is that for some reason now that I've loaded it, it starts to claim that we have unfulfilled import requests from Soviet Union and Venezuela. Last time this happened, it wasn't a glitch. We actually did get less fuel, even though the numbers on the trade screen claimed that we are getting the full number. So I'm gonna let it run for a day, and in case it doesn't disappear, I am going to cancel it. As far as our next steps go, we are working on a naval expansion plan because we want more dockyards for our ships. And I actually think I'm going to do a little change in my plan. In my notes, after the naval expansion plan, we were supposed to go for the plan Z. But that one actually doesn't give us a naval dockyard. It gives us a decent amount of navy experience and unlocks some things for us. But I'm not entirely sure if we want to get it because it kills the factory output. Though it gives us an extra dockyard output of 10%. But I don't think it is a good choice right now. We need as much factory output as we can, and while the Navy or the Kriegsmarine is going to play a big role for us, I think I'm going to skip this one for now and switch it with Deutsche Erdl, which is going to give us a research bonus for synthetic resources. Now this one is not much better because it gives us a mouse of diverting resources to synthetic refineries, which also lowers factory output, but it gives us extra fuel gain from refineries, synthetic refinery construction speed, rubber refinery construction speed, and it gives us a research bonus for synthetic refining, which is important for us because I think that we are quickly going to have to go through these ones, which are going to give us extra fuel gain per oil, maybe even the charcoal engines, but I'd like to get at least to these two. You know, get these three technologies before the war starts, because this would give us extra 25% fuel from oil, so we could import 25% less, meaning we don't need 53, but we would be okay with, say, 35 to 40. And if we manage to kick up some synthetic refineries, we might even get some decent fuel from the 50. So this is going to give us a 50% bonus. Right now the refineries we have give us 158, so that would turn to like 220, but if we build a couple more, and there are national focuses for that, for example, the Wirtschaftliche Forschungsgesellschaft gives you downright free refineries, so that is like another, say, 200, 300 fuel, so it might be a little better way than what we are going for right now. And there are some... This one gives rubber, which is also going to be a huge issue for us because we don't have any production of rubber or fuel. So we'll need to think about it. That's something that is weighing heavily on my mind. And I mean, we can... And I said that in the beginning, we can build some storages, but storing rubber, well, you know, it's not such a bad idea. And there literally is no one that can provide us with rubber except for Siam, and we will just not be able to do that. So I think building a rubber storage here is actually a good idea. Is there any that would give us... You do. You would give us extra fuel and rubber storages. But I'm not counting with that. Rubber storage, fuel silo. And you actually need all of these three, so I think it would be better and safer to actually get some rubber storage. 2 of those, maybe. Well, we'll see. Never mind. That is for another time. So right now we're working on the naval expansion plans. Let's see how it's gonna go. Our units are involved in the fighting here, which is not going well. Not at all. We're just wasting lives here. So let's stop you from that. I'm gonna put you over here and throw you to attack over there. Better. What about the Kriegsmarine? I know that we have 3 destroyers in training here. All of these Zerstörers can be upgraded. I haven't checked if we could. I don't think you can get an actual. Yeah, you can only get these ones. So that's the cruiser capital and carriers. So Zerstörers are not part of what we are eligible to get. So we could get. Okay, I haven't stopped it, did I? Yeah, Venezuela is the only one. The Soviet Union actually got back to where we needed, but you didn't. Okay, so we'll import Soviet as fuel for now, but that's not such a biggie. So the Zerstörer 1944A, we could upgrade it, and we probably should, to give it more depth charges. Can better anti-air, which is fine. A way better director. Anti-air control. Okay, that's getting pricey. And the damage control could be improved. And the sonar. So 485 for a complete refit of this one. Getting a decent increase of 1.4 in wide attack, torpedo attack, depth charge is doubled, reliability having like 10% extra, anti-air tripled, sub-detection improved. So this would be the Zerstörer 1944B. Yeah, I think it's worth it. The actual ship costs 1809 production cost, so investing additional 480 to make it perform way better is a good thing in my book. Wait. What about you? What about you? We stopped. Okay. It's not that bad. It is not that bad. Can I go here? Yeah, we need to continue with the boosting. They're still at 27%. Are you actually? Yeah, we're boosting it. Göring's 4-year plan. The Göring 4-year plan was an economic initiative which Göring, favored by Hitler over Hjalmar Schacht, started in 1936. So the 3rd year lowers the factory output but gives us military factory construction speed by +1. So what does it look like now? Right now the factory output is lowered by 3%, but military factory construction speed is increased by 5%. Airbase infrastructure. Air assembly plant is also increased by 15%. So I guess that's good in its own right. So have you guys moved to the place? You haven't yet. So come on, get in there. Sure, we could easily argue that we need to get you just here. And then throw you immediately into that attack. Because that one is a winning move. And winning moves are better. Yep, gaining experience there. Okay, the radios and the mortar teams. To introduce the mortar to Mountaineers. And can we introduce the radio to someone to support battalions? Okay, that is interesting in itself. That is interesting in itself, but not all that great. I mean, how well are we doing with those? Oh, here comes the infantry radios, just as I was talking about it. But what I wanted to see is how we're doing on the upgrades to the mortars. Yeah, 15 per day. So considering... yeah, I mean, it's gonna get better. It is gonna get better. So infantry radios, we can now provide our radios to each of the infantry units, and that is something that I find very useful. Now we could also put it to the truck radios, which would allow the motorized units to have them, and also the mechanized and amphibious mechanized, but that's not something that we want. Contrary to the logical thing here, where the truck radios would be a good way to go, we actually do have tank radios. How did we get tank radios? Did we have them? I guess we had them already. We're gonna go with radio detection because I want to start building some radio radars. No, I want the radars to be built because we'll need those to defend the fatherland from the Royal Air Force and French Air Force and whatever other Air Force is gonna try to bomb us. So let's get that one off the table first. Aiding Persian economic support, no. We're still at 100% stability, that is great. And we're having so many units to form. 157 days. Okay, that is starting to look manageable. 92 days. 230 days. Yeah, we're starting to get to a point where it's fairly good. Trucks need more, though. Still 200 days. Recon 115. And naval bombers. Okay. Armored Spearhead has been finished. Or the research of Armored Spearhead has been finished. And the next one is actually way too ahead. But, oh, okay. We can actually speed this one up using army experience. Which might seem like a great idea. But I don't think we're gonna go for it. Because cutting it down by 50 days for 100 XP is not a great deal. But Armored Spearhead itself is a really good doctrine because it gives us, okay, a blitz tactic, which is really good. Damn, that is really good. And all tanks get extra breakthrough, soft attack and hard attack of 5% and organization of +2. To use tanks to their fullest potential, they cannot be tied down supporting infantry. Instead, they must be formed into fast-moving independent units which can spearhead attack. And here we go with the machine and pistol 38, which is great, but we don't have any factories assigned to that. So you make of that what you will. Okay, I think we ought to get... Okay, this one can wait. That's not something that we need immediately. But instead we can go with recon equipment to end signal companies. We need to start getting these better companies like Field Hospital 2 and so on, because they greatly increase their benefits. So if we're investing in them, like into the combat engineers... Oh wow, this is just mechanized. That doesn't give you anything else, that just allows you to get the mechanized, which are even better. Okay. But yeah, we would... Let's start with Recon 2. That actually helps with reconnaissance greatly. Yep. From 0.5 to 1.2. So it's going to benefit all of our units and their tactics. And we can start producing better things. And they're actually going to give us an extra naval dockyard. And then we are going to strengthen the tank force, which gives us an extra military factor and 2 tank assembly plants, which is great, but we're not actually using them to the fullest potential at this point. Are we? Nope. And we finished 3 military factories. and civilian factories. Rather believed that Britain could be more easily defeated through the surface radar strategy he favored. The initial version of his plan was based on the assumption that the fleet should be centered on Panzerschiffe, long-range cruisers, and U-boats to attack British commerce. These forces would tie down the British naval power and allow a smaller number of battleships to operate in the North Sea. This first draft was called Plan X. A pared-down revision was renamed Plan Y, and the final version presented to Hitler was Plan Z. Actually, it was kind of interesting that until today I don't understand why they decided to abandon the submarine warfare, because that worked really well in World War I, and they just decided to get a handful of subs instead of the hundreds that they requested under Plan X. And the entirety of Plan Z was just insane. You will see when we get it, but at this point, So let's go with the Deutsche Erdöl instead of the Plan Z, and we get some extra free civilian factories. Nice! Okay, so we get full 4 queues, and we can add additional ones here. So I can put one... No, okay, I can put one here. And that box is from putting military factory there, unfortunately. But there were a couple of good places where we could add, and they are all full. Oh hell, we did so well that we no longer have any place to put it. Okay, so let's put it in Olderland and Thüringen. Actually, no, not Thüringen. Let's put it in Hinterpommern. There's almost nothing there. And you can be put into Sachsen and Oberbayern and Württemberg. And you got 3 military factories. 1 of those, actually. So I think... Yeah, the trucks seems to be the biggest issue we have. They're still improving. It's nowhere near where we need them. And the armored cars are starting to stockpile really nicely. That's good. Okay, let's do a little revision here, because we have some things that we need to go with. Field uniforms, completely okay with having them at this point, because we have no reserves. Infantry equipment, actually, how are we doing on infantry equipment? I think we got tons. Yeah, we got 15k. I think we could cut this one down significantly by, say, at least 3 factories. We're starting to rack up the radio equipment production, that is good. So now we can add 2 more to fighters and 2 more to naval bombers. Anti-tank is fine, recon and motorized is fine. I think we can load the production of these heavy transport trucks. We would do very well to start ramping up the production of the tanks. But for now, I think we're gonna add the production of the assault weapons, because these ones are going to be used by our motorized divisions, and they need some good stuff. Okay, we don't need that many to upgrade, so 2 factories are actually enough. And that leaves me with the next 2 factories to go straight up to the tanks, because we're producing, that's gonna give us more than 1 per day, and we have tons of tanks that we need to upgrade. And once we get to roughly 10 factories here, I think I'm gonna start the production of Panzer IIIs, because those will be very important as well. For some people, problems. Yeah, this is looking good. And I have done nothing with the trucks, have I? I have done nothing with the trucks. Oh well, never mind. They're still not that bad. Trade mission. Good job. Oh hey, we got 118 fighters available, so we can deploy yet another one. So where do we have you? One here, one here, one here. We got only 3? No, 4. Oh, the 4th one is down here. And we had no one in Western Germany. So let's put them there. Okay, so that's 97, 98, 99, 100. And go drilling. We're still getting fuel, which is great. You guys are getting better too. You are still drilling. Come on, enable the split off. And an agent has been captured yet again. They really are doing their best to hurt our agents. So prepare, you do that. Comments when ready, prepare. And I'm gonna switch it to boost propaganda for now. Because I really want this to go up. Oh, we're at 28% now. Never been higher. That is true. So what's our guys doing here? Can you join this fight? You can. And I think it might actually... Wow, that's gonna encircle these divisions. It's actually a pretty darn good strategy. So armor training technique and oil plan were finished. So armor training technique is going to go to improved armor command, which is going to give us maximum command power increase multiplied of 2%. All of our tanks and armor variants are going to get 6% extra defense, breakthrough, soft and hard attack, and support armor variants will get the same bonus. So let's research this. And the second one was the oil plant, right? Yeah, extra gain of fuel from refineries. Which, okay, I'm not gonna say that it didn't help, it did. I think we might go... Yeah, this is still ahead of time. Researching the sulfur drugs, the machine tools and everything here is actually ahead of time. Infrastructural works, tin production capacity, steel mills will produce more. Nothing here really piques my interest. This is all ahead of time. Mass media, decryption, encryption, experimental rockets, jet engines, lowered air fuel. Let's actually look at other trees. What do we have here? Could go with the mountain warfare. Could go with the signal company. That is something that I actually really want. And a better mountain artillery. Okay, let's go with the signal company first. That is something that we really need. Signal companies, especially the motorized, are amazing for tanks, and they are going to make them just so much better. So let's get the signal company. It's gonna take only 91 days, at which point I think we will be very close to being able to do the next level of industry technology. Have you gained a level or not? No, you haven't. Well, you're commanding just 2 units. That's true. Close quarters. But you're gaining us an insane amount of experience. I think we might be ready for the next set of changes to our units. So this is really good. Engineer companies and everything. The Panzer divisions are what we want to change. They will gain the signal companies. And how are we doing on this size? Yeah, we haven't really recruited any divisions. Let's see, can we get some extra ones? These are just the motorizations. Let's form the 44th and 45th infantry divisions, because those are going to be good for us. And they don't require, I think, anything that we wouldn't have that would make the situation that much worse for us. The magazine fort raid. The IRA raided the magazine fort in Dublin. Though they had managed to mostly seize Irish munitions, they were reclaimed very shortly afterwards, and many IRA volunteers were caught and arrested. Now, that's why that were reclaimed. I guess the munition was reclaimed, not the people. Were caught and arrested. Many high-ranking IRA members have been executed, and the Oireachtas have been given emergency powers to deal with this crisis. And Venezuela resigns from the League of Nations. Venezuela today has announced its intentions to leave the League of Nations, not wishing to be involved in the League embargo with Italy and seeking to establish a stronger oil trade with Germany as a key factor leading to the decision. Huh, interesting. Form the Gibbocks division. Actually, I wanted to check how we're doing on the pack artillery. We got 294 in reserve. If we wanted to change the Marines template to give them the pack artillery, how much would they need? 96. Okay, that's actually pretty good. And this is a very small combat with Chinese weapons. Nice. It gave us 25 political power, which we can use to get. Now I could get the Dornier to make the Heinkel. Medium bomber, naval bomber, and Khazar support? No, you are not supporting the Khazar support. What about you, Rheinmetall? Oh, you're going for the artillery. Yeah, let's get the artillery. That is more important than our bombers. Hands down, we need that. And it's also extra army experience for us. So here's the 44th Infantry Division. The 44th Infantry Division was formed on 1st of April 1938 in Vienna, about 2 weeks after the Anschluss of Austria. It first saw combat at the start of the war in the invasion of Poland and also took part in the Battle of France in 1940. After a 9-month period of coastal defense, the division was transferred east. On 22nd of June 1941, the division took part in the invasion of the Soviet Union, attached to the Army Group South. It remained in the east after the failure of the Operation Barbarossa, taking part in defensive actions for the winter against the Soviet Army offensive near Izum and Kharkov. Refurbished, the division participated in the German summer offensive and was subsequently destroyed with the 6th Army at Stalingrad in January 1943. The division was rebuilt as a Reichsgrenadier Division Hoch und Deutschmeister in Belgium when Hitler ordered the Stalingrad divisions should be reconstructed. By the summer of 1943, it was back up to strength and sent to fight in Italy, where it was heavily engaged at Monte Cassino. It withdrew up the Italian peninsula during the 1944 and briefly clashed with American forces attacking the Gothic Line. Withdrawn to refit, it was instead sent to oppose the Soviet breakthrough in Hungary. The division joined the efforts to recapture Budapest with the 6th SS Panzer Army and was subsequently nearly destroyed near Lake Balaton. The remnants of the division retreated into Austria until the final days of the war, when it marched west and surrendered to the American forces near Linz. Okay, so the 44th Infantry Division. That's a regular division with a different template. Okay, cool. So let's put you on the 7th Infantry Army. So your template is different. Yeah, 44th and 45th Infantry Division, they got different templates. So Deutsche Erdöl. Yes, we get a hit to factory output, research speed, and resource gain efficiency of 2%, but we get extra 10% fuel from refineries extra construction speed and synthetic refinery construction speed of 5%, and research to synthetic resources as a bonus. So what's next? Strengthening the tank forces. That's gonna allow us later on to take over a Skoda 2. Nope, just gonna give us tank assembly plants and military factory. Okay. I don't think there's anything else here that we could substitute that with. Volkswagen just gives vehicle factories. And we're gonna do the Volkswagen soon anyway. It's 28 days. 35 days. Because the vehicles right now, I mean, the extra military factory is gonna be good and everything. But we have a lot of factories working on the vehicles. And if we get extra free vehicle factories, what is the benefit? Truck workshop increases speed, but it doesn't say by how much. Do we have... Can I see how many do we have? We have 1 out of 5. But I'm not sure what the boost actually is. So that's a question whether we want that extra factory or the vehicle factories. Because the tank factories we are not really using right now. It's a question. No, let's stick with the plan. Let's go with strengthening the tank forces. I don't want to make too much of a mess. Insufficient resource? What are we missing? Oh, capital shipyard capacity, what? -1. 59, did we have 6? Are we? Oh god, it's that penalty. So how much is that loan? 2.3%. Damn, I did not expect that. Well, okay. That hit us heavily. But fine. Let's just keep on trucking. In progress, it's gonna be done on 18th of August. Wait, 18th of August? Dang. Okay. Issuing an ultimatum and Treaty of Sadabad. In pursuit of peace in the Greater Middle East, representatives of Turkey, Iran, Iraq, and Afghanistan met in Tehran's Sadabad Palace. There, the Treaty of Sadabad was signed, formalizing a 5-year non-aggression pact between the nations. With tensions rising around the world, this motley group made their intentions of peace between the neighbors known. That's actually admirable. Infantry gun and machine guns, I think we are fine on those. What about the trucks? 183 days. That is really nice. Ordering the 45th Infantry Division. With the annexation in 1948 of Austria by Nazi Germany, what was once the 4th Austrian Division was incorporated into the Wehrmacht, the German army. So let me see. You failed in this fight? Or you haven't joined it? Well, keep fighting then. Sure, I don't want you to do this. Let's give you a spearhead. I really want you just to attack this area. And redesignated the 45th Infantry Division. In the 1949 invasion of Poland, the division was on the right wing of Gerd von Rundstedt's Heeresgruppe Süd. On 22nd of June 1941, the 45th Infantry Division began Operation Barbarossa by starting the 9-day-long siege of the Brest fortress. In March 1942, the Red Army defeated the division at Livny, Russia, and captured the archive of the division. That was the first time the Red Army learned about the defense of Brest fortress. It suffered heavy casualties during the Battle of Kursk. It was rebuilt but virtually destroyed at Bobruisk during Operation Bagration. It was again rebuilt as the 45th Folk Grenadier Division in the autumn of 1944 in Poland. This division fought at Warsaw and Radom in 1945, retreating through Silesia to Königgrätz and finally to Czechoslovakia, where it surrendered. The back question, and we got a new SS Infantry Regiment available. Due to our aggressive foreign policy and rearmament program, General Ludwig Beck is speaking out against the Führer's plans. Such a high-ranking military leader is a powerful voice in opposition to us. Do we dare to allow this man to impede Germany's ascension? So we have to decide whether or not we want to keep him as a chief of the army. He must be removed then. And here's the 45th Infantry Division, the same template as the 44th. So you two again will join the 7th Infantry Army. And let me just drill you. Drill all of you if there is anyone that needs to be drilled. And the Marines have also drilled, so good. Missing equipment production, that is fine. The machine guns, we need to get the better machine guns so that we can start producing them again and upgrade them. But as we had the machine gun 44, we're way too ahead. The 1948 Tour de France. The Tour de France was the 42nd edition of the Tour de France, taking place from 5th to 31st July. It was composed of 21 stages over 4,694 kilometers, which is nearly 3,000 miles. The race was won by Italian cyclist Gino Bartali, who also won the mountain classification. Coming in at the second place was Belgian cyclist Felicien. So we get an extra factory here. I'm gonna put 2 extra factories on the trucks. I know I'm going overboard here, but we really need to get that sorted. 157 days, 58 days, 88 days, 177 days, 55 days. We're looking about 120 days until we're fully stocked. Hospital 2 has been researched, which is amazing. That lowers the attrition of our forces by 3%. And we're still way ahead of time, but we could go with the fuel refining research here. You lower the motorized infantry fuel usage as well, though. So that might be a bit a better choice, or no, it's still ahead of time. But didn't you have some kind of malice? No, you don't. Semi-motorized infantry, mechanized infantry. Well, excavation. I could just start doing the air defense initiative, but I don't think we're there yet. I'm gonna start working on that next year once we get Czechoslovakia. This is too long though. Let's start with the charcoal engines. Fuel usage of 5% is going to be, you know, doable and noticeable. It's not something that we don't see. Okay, we got another Zerstörer, which can be added, and you guys have finished. So the Hoxley Flotta is starting to look pretty good. We got 7 destroyers, 5 light cruisers, 3 battleships, or the pocket battleships, and 1 cruiser. I'm actually happy with this. That seems like a decent setup at this point. And how's the firefighting in here going? Okay, join in on that. Yet again. Okay, housing 2 has been finished too. Doing really good. That gives us extra construction of the civilian factories, an extra recruitable population, so we're going to be mobilizing here a bit. And you really can't get anything, so I guess we're going to start by the dispersed industry 3. We're a bit ahead of time, but the 16% extra factory output is just amazing. So if we get it a few days ahead of time, it is going to be fine. Okay, I'd like to get to somewhere like 2,000 trucks in reserve so that we can have our units supported by that. Okay, recon equipment 2 has been finished, which is nice. What's this? Recon company 2. Oh, it's a mechanized recon company. We don't want that. This is still ahead of time. So get me that better mountain artillery, because we'll use that with our mountaineers and also with our beautiful, beautiful Marines. And use the recon. Okay, it's gonna take a bit. So we might want to... Yeah, I'm gonna put one of the support equipment in this one, because we will need to get more of those. So now it's 100 days, and then we're gonna start upgrading. But it's gonna drop significantly because we are very low on efficiency. Joint industrial policy. Our foreign minister met today with his counterpart from Latvia. Above all, it was a matter of harmonizing industrial policies. So we get extra political power. Good. I am happy about that. Okay, we could form some more Gebirgsjäger divisions. Motorize the 20th Infantry Division. The Leichte divisions would be great, but I think that those need tanks, and I'm not entirely sure we have those to spare. Okay, so we finished the strengthening of the tank force, extra military factory, and 2 tank assembly plants. So next thing that we should get is reclaiming of the Sudetenland. But I think we're a bit ahead of time here. Yep, we need to wait 9 more days. That's actually really amazing. We are almost on time. Almost on time. So what's in this episode here? I'm gonna start the next one by speaking a bit about the Munich Agreement and what happened to Czechoslovakia. But I wanted to check. Our army strength is now at 1204, which actually gives us a bonus to land Doctrine research speed of 2%. The Air Force is now at 1677. Nice, so we crossed to the next level. We have a large Air Force, which gives us Air Doctrine research speed of plus 5%. And our Navy is at 95. Did we start at something like 60? Small Navy is still plaguing us, but I don't think that's something that we need to worry too much about. We'll get there. The Zerstörers are being produced. Oh, actually this fixed itself. Interesting. So it was probably a glitch. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 more destroyers to build, and then we're gonna start upgrading our fleet. And we have the München classes prepared here. So yeah, we're gonna be doing that. I'm probably going to shadow the Zerstörers upgrades before we actually jump into the München classes. But yeah, I'm happy with this result. And the fact that we're gonna get these guys before... the first Scharnhorst is actually gonna roll out of the dockyard 1 day before the attack on Poland. So that is symbolic and amazing. So thank you very much for joining me. Now see you in the next episode.